Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Capricorn. You can have Capricorn anywhere in your chart. You can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you're here watching this reading, that you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Okay, so Capricorn, the only thing that really came through when I started shuffling, or when I was shuffling for to get your energy and stuff into the cards, was something about labels. Now that could be like literal, like maybe you're needing to like put labels on things or something, I don't know, to make your life easier. But then also the message that was actually coming through was that like you could be focusing on labeling something right now. I'm getting, it's like by putting on a label on something, it like shows your accomplishment or whatever. And I think you need to maybe look at it as it's not, the label isn't that important. It's like the actual thing, right? So I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups with the Ten of Wands on the bottom. So it's interesting. The Queen of Cups here is pregnant. There's dolphins in the background. Actually, you know what's sticking out to me here? Is the fact that she has a broom, but she's on a beach. Like there's a broom in the background by that chair. Hang on. There's a broom back there. But she's on the beach. So it almost feels like you're working on something that it might seem a bit tireless, especially with this Ten of Wands, like on the bottom. It's like you're working on something tirelessly and you feel like you're not making any progress. It's like sweeping a beach, right? And maybe that's why you're focused on like the label. It's like, well, if I'm just going to sit here and spin myself in circles, at least like I can call it something. At least like calling it something will make me feel like I'm progressing, even though you're just going in circles. And even with the image here with the woman being pregnant, it's like that cycle. The cycle of life, you know, they refer to it as the cycle of life. And it's interesting too, because it's almost like everybody wants something from you. Maybe you are like a really nurturing person, but it's like everybody wants something from you. You have a full cup, and then this cat down here wants some of it. These fish want it, and it's like, and I'm only getting this Queen of Cups in a negative energy because of this Ten of Wands on the bottom. The Ten of Wands is like carrying burdens that aren't ours to carry. And this woman is like really, really struggling. And she's like going up a mountain, carrying these 10 brooms that are just like huge. I mean, it's the Everyday Witch Tarot, so like there's going to be a lot of brooms and stuff, but I don't know. It's almost like you need to take your one and do whatever the hell you want with it. You know, like if you want to sweep the beach, whatever. But it's like take your one that belongs to you, not these 10. Only one of these 10 belongs to you. It's like take yours and go do whatever the hell you want. This isn't going to be for everybody, but I am getting the message that some of you could be expecting. And if you are a Capricorn, like maybe you're kind of scared because, you know, Capricorn's, the stereotypical Capricorn energy is that they're extremely driven. So maybe you're like worried about like putting something in your life on hold to stop and like nurture newborn. Like maybe you feel like you don't have it in you or something, but like just worrying about that shows that you do have it in you, right? But anyway, that's not for everyone, obviously, but okay, let's keep going here. What else for Capricorn, please? Capricorn. What else for Capricorn, please? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So you have the Ace of Wands on the bottom. And in this Ace of Wands in particular, she looks very surprised. Like what's going to happen. And there's a map, a feather, a book, or like a quill, I should say, a book, a paintbrush, music notes, some leaves, and a palette, like a paint palette. And then the wand, of course, all above this fire and the smoke. It's almost like you don't know. Yeah, it's like you're just confused. Okay, so the cards that came out are the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords. The Five of Swords, especially this one, is like one person thinking they know how to do everything and like trying to juggle it and not utilizing the people that are there to help them. Now that could be you. But then also it's like you feel like you have to do everything yourself or it won't get done. Right. Even the cats in this image are like fed up with you. They're like trying to show you something in the book and it's like, no, you know how to do it best. And it's just like with the, if you're expecting a child thing, it's like, if you have a partner, like ask your partner to chip in, so you're not so overwhelmed, even if you haven't had the child yet, you know? Or if you're like a single parent, it's like utilize the energies around you, your community. Because in this image, there's one woman, she has all five swords, and then the other two women are just sitting there worried and like panicked. Yeah, and then with the Eight of Swords, you know, the Eight of Swords is like being trapped but not knowing you have an easy out. Because she can cut this ribbon off of her hands with any of these swords that are around her. Like, the way I interpret the Eight of Swords too is like, she has to know those eight swords are surrounding her because like she would have heard someone come onto the beach and place those swords in the sand. It wouldn't have been a silent thing. So she knows that they're there. She knows that she's in a cage. And it's interesting because on this deck I'm going to use as a clarifier, this woman is inside a cage. And when I was shuffling them, I heard, like, I know why the bird, or the caged bird sings. I don't know why the caged bird sings. Why does the caged bird sing? Because it feels comfortable, even though it's in an environment that's not conducive to it, to its own spirit. Like, birds are supposed to be wild and free, but when they're kept in a cage, they feel, you know, nurtured and whatnot, but they're not, they're experiencing like human conditions, not like what a bird is supposed to be. A bird is supposed to be wild and free and soaring high. So it's like, I don't know, are you in a situation that you feel like you can't get out of? What was on the bottom? The Ace of Wands. just the image of that, it's like you have a lot of things, like it's up in smoke, because in this card it's like literally like in a billow of smoke. Hang on a second. It's like you're in this situation and you really truly see no way out, even though there are ways out with this Eight of Swords. It's like you see no way out, but you also feel like you're going in circles. You feel like you have to do everything yourself. And even in this, all the swords are up in that, it's steam in this image, but it's like they're floating up in the air. It's like you have the ability, but you're not utilizing all of your assets. And think about that saying and how it pertains to your life. I know why the caged bird sings. Why do you think that living a life that is counterintuitive to your nature is good for you? Like, I have no doubt that birds that are pets experience joy. Like, I truly believe, like, yes, they are loved and whatnot, but they're experiencing it from the human perspective. They're not experiencing it from how a bird is supposed to live. So it's like you're experiencing your life as a caged bird. And it's like you're not allowing yourself to see past the cage. You're not like, you know, like, is the bird's innate sense, like, does it know deep down that it's supposed to be soaring up in the sky with its fellow birds? Does it know that deep down? Or is it blind to that fact? That's this Eight of Swords here. It's like you're a caged bird, but it's almost like you don't understand your own capabilities and your own instincts. Okay, we're gonna clarify each of these cards with the Ostara Tarot. Wait. Yeah, we're gonna use Ostara. Actually, no, they want this Two of Swords on the bottom of this, so I'm gonna actually clarify with the So Below deck. Yeah, look, the Nine of Swords is on the bottom. That's like, the Nine of Swords is anxiety and stress. You have a lot of swords energy here, which is interesting because swords represents like truth and clarity, and I'm getting the sense that in these two cards especially, it's like these two swords cards are not seeing truth and clarity and only seeing things from one perspective instead of like reality. Like, your perspective is being perceived as reality, but it's actually not. I mean, it is, it's your reality, but there's like something further that you're not seeing. But anyway, and then it's like in this Nine of Swords, there's a vulture in that card. And it's almost like, you know, vultures, they clean up toxins and stuff. They clean up, and it's like this vulture is waiting for this woman's anxiety to leave her body so it can consume it for her. Because, you know, to me, vultures are like super underrated. They're really, really good for our environment. So it's like, I don't know. That's part of like utilizing the energies around you. Maybe you have like a vulture spirit around you. It's like a misunderstood thing, but they're trying to help pull that disease out of you. Let's clarify this Queen of Cups for Capricorn, please. Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Clarify the Queen of Cups, please. The Hierophant. With strength underneath. Okay. You know how I said like removing the broom, like the one broom was for you, that was the only one you should be carrying, and then it's like you can go do whatever the hell you want in your own little space. That's kind of what I'm getting here. It's by removing yourself from whatever this is, it's like, do you see those medicine bottles up there? It's like you find, she like has medicine bottles and like a card catalog, and so it's like a card catalog, and she's surrounded by like plants and herbs and stuff. And this woman that's coming into this woman's store she has a list of what she wants, right? And the woman's like, here, I can help you. And it's almost like in a magical sense. She has like, I don't know if you can see it, but she has like sparkles around her hand, the Hierophant. And so like she can manifest anything that her customers need, right? Okay, so it's almost like the Hierophant here is the continuation of that vulture energy that I was seeing. It's like they're there to help you replenish, renourish your soul. And this can always be vice versa. You could be the replenisher here, right? But I'm not getting that so much, but it could definitely be true. Depending on where like Capricorn is in your chart, you know what I mean? Like certain placements might be more prone to be this more Hierophant energy. But anyway, with strength, yeah, it's like there's someone around you that is like helping replenish your soul. If it's a physical person or your guides or whatever, like it doesn't matter. There's something that's around you that wants you to start seeing like how to help yourself, pretty much, you know? Or they're there, it's like you come up with a plan, right? Because this woman, I feel like this is the Capricorn here. She has a list of everything she needs. And then the other woman is there to act as service and help. So it's like you formulate a plan and then you have like a support system. So let's clarify this Five of Swords. Clarify the Five of Swords. Now this Five of Swords is like thinking that you need to do it all on your own. Clarify this Five of Swords for Capricorn, please. Clarify the Five of Swords for Capricorn. Clarify the Capricorn. You know what's interesting about this card here with the woman in the cage? It's like all the birds are free and she's not. So it's like she's shown other creatures how to do what she needs to do for herself. But the birds are staying. It's almost like, well, you know, like, why should we be free and not you? Why are you not free? So they want to help in return free you. Okay, 2 cards came out. Ace of Cups on the bottom. We have the King of Cups and the Ace of Swords with the Five of Swords. So hang on a second. Give me a second. So I am getting that. So we have the Queen of Cups from the first deck and then the King of Cups from the second deck. And it's almost like a continuation of the Queen and King. Like normally I would see them as like counterparts, but it feels like an evolution of sorts. But then also with that Five of Swords, it's like the King, the masculine energy often is like in the more negative aspect, masculine energy. I don't want to say they have a hard time asking for help. They just don't see a need for it or something like that. So it's almost like because in this King of Cups, there's still energies around. There's children. So it's like, see how it's a continuation? Like here she's pregnant and here there's children. So it's almost like when something was birthing, you could have helped yourself, but you didn't. I don't know. Just because we go from the Queen of Cups to the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords, it's like you feel like maybe you trapped yourself, like by thinking that you could do everything yourself, by presenting to those around you that you could do everything yourself. You're therefore having to do it by yourself. But anyway, I am liking this Ace of Swords here because the 5 plus the 1 is 6. And the 6 of Swords means like leaving troubled waters and going on. And the sense that I'm getting this King and Queen as an evolution and not a count, like not a duo, is like you're progressing. And it's like, maybe you are doing everything on your own because there's only one person here in this picture with these children, right? And one person showing them, but then they have like spirit guides around them. There's 3 spirit guides. So I'm also hearing like the people around you maybe give you grief about doing everything yourself, because here, this person that's doing it all, like they don't look stressed, right? They look like they are actually kind of in control of the situation, and the other people are the ones that are stressed out. So it's like maybe you do everything, and I am getting the strong sense like in a family capacity, because it's like a pregnant woman and then a man with 3 children. Hang on. You're holding everything up in the air inside your cage, right? Inside this little bubble, inside your little world. You're holding it all up. And then here in this Ace of Swords, like if you see there's like a cloth over something, it's almost like the only thing holding this cloth up is a moment of truth. Like, and that moment of truth is getting ready to be picked up. And so like I'm getting it as like the sword is holding the cloth onto this thing, whatever this is. The sword is the only thing holding it up. And as soon as this hand that's picking it up picks it up, the cloth will fall. And that's the moment of clarity. But right now there's like a veil. It's almost like I'm getting the image, I'm getting imagery of, you know how people put cloths like drapes over bird cages when they want the birds to go to sleep? It's like that. It's like there's a cloth over your bird cage. Not only are you caged, but you also have that drop cloth over it, so you are in the dark. You can't see, especially with this Eight of Swords. She is blindfolded. It's like you're in the dark about something, and like a moment of clarity or a moment of truth is about to lift that drop cloth off, and you're like, I'm in a cage. I'm somewhere that's not true to my innate sense of self. Okay, let's clarify the Eight of Swords. Clarify that. Oh, don't fall, don't fall. I don't want 3 cards, but I'm going to take them. Okay, what are they? Hang on, I gotta move these ones out of the way. We have the Stars, which more single parent energy with children. Like, do you see that? We have the Stars. The King of Wands, which it's actually a woman. Like, I love this King of Wands too, because it's like she is supposed to be being burned at the stake, right? But she is rising. It's like she's rising out of the fire. And then the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. What's on the bottom? The Three of Wands. I don't know if that's going to pertain to it. We'll put it right here and see. Where am I at? Oh my gosh. We're at 27 minutes and I haven't even gotten advice yet. And we're still on this last card. Okay. Eight of Swords with the Star, the King of Wands, and then the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like when this cloth falls, it's almost like your whole entire existence flashes before your eyes, right? And you see just what you are, which is like a powerful being. You see just what you are. You're not like this caged. It's like you get the glimpse of the free bird, right? It's like you've been in this cage the whole time, and then as soon as that cloth is lifted, as soon as this moment of truth happens, you see everything that could have been. And instead of feeling bitter about it, I feel like you get set on like, okay, how do I get into that energy? How do I go from this and to listening to myself? Like, that's your intuition, like knowing how to utilize your innate sense of self, like what you should have been all along. It's like you see it clearly, like in that flash before your eyes of like what your life has been and what your life will be. You just see it clearly. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, normally in the Seven of Pentacles, it's like, it's about assessment, right? But if you look here, those apples are so red and juicy, and they're just ready to be eaten. And she's utilizing it. It's almost like she is taking on the energy of the apples too, because she's wearing that red and white, because on the outside apples are red, on the inside they're white, right? So she's like taking on that sense of what has always been there, but like, because the apples are born of the tree, right? They just know that they're supposed to grow. And every year when the tree blooms, the apples form. And so it's like this thing that should have been happening all along. And you know, fruit trees do take a long time to bear fruit. And so it's like you've been trying something, or something has been like a loop, a cycle over and over and over. And finally the cycles are paying off. You are getting your abundance. Like maybe looking into, especially because this woman is like rising from the fire, it's like a witch energy. So maybe something to do with like wearing the colors of what you're wanting to manifest, especially with that Three of Wands on the bottom. Three of Wands is about like waiting for our ships to come in, like it's about manifestation, right? So it's like knowing that what is for you will come into your life. But in the meantime, it's like something about like wearing the right colors to what you're manifesting, or like even just doing like spell work, but maybe in spell work colors are really important to your spell work in particular. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get some advice for you from the Herb Crafters Tarot. And there's actually like crafting advice in the book for each of these herbs and plants. So so yeah, like just something about like Wiccan practices like are kind of important for you. Your intentions behind things. Okay, so what is the advice for Capricorn pertaining to this reading? What is the advice for Capricorn, please? Get some advice for Capricorn. Oh my gosh, now that we're 31 minutes into it. What's the advice for... Oh, okay, that one is acting real wonky. Ace of Fire on the bottom. I don't know. Justice. Cannabis. You know, so I'm getting this message about like the cannabis thing. It's like cannabis should have never been illegal. It should have always been legal because it helps more than it hinders. Like it should be more, it has more reason to be legal than like alcohol has reason to be illegal. And I'm not saying like alcohol shouldn't be, but you know what I mean? Like nobody dies from using cannabis. And it's like good for the environment, like the hemp and stuff. And maybe you like cannabis but you don't use it because there's a lot of like children in these images. So like, and oh my gosh, I'm even getting with that Hierophant, it's like natural medicines, right? It's like cannabis is a natural medicine. It helps a lot of people. Like there are ways to abuse it, but it really does help a lot of people and a lot of things. But so maybe it's like you used to maybe smoke a lot and like of cannabis, and now like you have a young family and maybe you don't because for those reasons. Let's see here. Seek the truth, that Ace of Swords. The truth is going to be revealed to you, but you might have to seek it a little bit. You might have to really try to see beyond the veil, like that veil that's around your birdcage, right? Make informed decisions. Consider the consequences of your actions. The personal is political. The personal is political. Yeah, it's like standing up for yourself. If you like, or say you're in this cage and you want to get out, like standing up for yourself is going to feel political to those around you. Especially with like in this Five of Swords, it's like she's doing what she knows to be true, but the people around her are judging her, right? Clarity and understanding are necessary before making a decision. Until the 1900s, 75% of the world's paper was made from hemp. A campaign targeting people of color criminalized marijuana use and shifted popular opinion, leading to the perception of cannabis as a dangerous drug. The loss of a valued remedy for pain and mental illness, as well as a sustainable source of clothing and paper, is minor compared to the continued impact the campaign has on people of color. The recent legalization of marijuana further complicates the issue. The unfolding story of cannabis teaches about imbalances of power. When life, that imbalances of power it is, it's like, and that's the case for like people of color too, is like they're often in those cages, right? Like they're kept in those cages. You know, I can't speak because I'm not a person of color, but like it does feel like they have a lot more legwork to do to get out of the cage, like to live in their innate sense. Like, I don't know. When life asks for your ruling, arm yourself with information from all sides. Stand on the side of truth and fight for what is right. And I feel like that's standing up for yourself. You're supposed to be learning how to stand up for yourself. Okay, so crafting with justice. Make flags with messages of justice using hemp fabric. Consider cannabis products for healing. Do research, talk to experts, make an informed choice. Claim responsibility for your actions. Hang on, record your commitments on hemp paper. Claim your responsibility for your actions, record your commitments on hemp paper. And if you don't have hemp paper available, like just obviously record your commitments on paper. It's like whatever you're telling yourself you're going to do to get out of this cage, like write it down on paper. And it's like that makes it, that's that 3 of Wands. It's like you wrote it, so it must be true. It was spoken out. And I know I need to finish this video, it's super long, but I was speaking with my kid the other night and I said, she was talking about fake prophecies and how like in one of these books she's reading. And I was like, well, you know, I don't think there's really any such thing as fake prophecy, because first off, this fake prophecy put you in this cage, right? But it was true because it was real. It was happening. A fake prophecy led this character to believe that her destiny was this prophecy, even though it was made up prophecy. And then it ended up becoming true because she thought it was true, even though the person who said the prophecy just completely made it up. So just by speaking it out made that character's timeline go towards that destiny instead of this other way, right? So it's like this prophecy has you in the cage with the cover over it. And then it became true, even though it wasn't true to you, okay? So it's like you have to make your own prophecy true instead of whatever this is, okay? So Capricorn, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. I thank any of you for being present today. I thank any of your guys that are present, any of my guides that are present from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.